In this video, you will learn how to install the OptLaser's 6-watt laser to your CNC router. Then we will show you how to connect it to your CNC controller, which is a matter of connecting 2 wires to the pins on your smooth stepper board. We will show you how we set up our Mach3 so that the laser would run properly. And then once we do all that, we will go into VCarve or Aspire, and then we're going to create a job from a piece of art we download. We'll go ahead and get that put in there, get all the vectors and everything the way we want them. We'll export that out and we'll go to Mach3. We'll show you the settings in Mach3 to run the laser, and then we will actually run the job so that you can see what we have. And hopefully you'll like the video, and please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Okay, I just got in my order. My laser arrived today. It took 4 days from Poland to get here, which I thought was pretty impressive. We have everything we need to get our laser up and running. In the package, we have 2 cables. One cable has 2 wires which goes into the controller for the CNC, and the other end plugs into the adapter. From the adapter, the second cable goes from the adapter to the laser itself. The laser is attached to the CNC with a magnetic docking plate. The package also has a tool for setting the correct height for the laser, a pair of safety goggles, and a magnetic cone that attaches to the bottom of the laser. The only thing I didn't have was a bracket that I had to make to connect the docking station to the CNC. Okay, we've got to drill some holes for the bolts. We're going to use this piece of metal to attach the laser, and it's an M4 little bolt that they give you, and then we will go ahead and drill that out. It's a little crosshair laser I added to the drill press. So this is the bar that we manufactured, and it's attached right here. And we've used these slide-in nuts and the screws, and that gives us a nice permanent attachment right here. Once we remove the cap, the dust cover, we pull that off, and then all we got to do is put that up there. The magnets pull it, and it's permanently attached so that we can do our job. And when we're done doing our job, it's just as easy to pull it off, and we put our dust cover back. So you can see with the dust cover on, this is where our laser is mounted, and you see the green end of the cable that we talked about earlier coming out of this box. And if we pull back here, you can see that it runs up. It's going to wind down and go through the cable management system on the track there, and that comes around to this side, comes down that track, and then it's going to come down and then come on over here. And then when we get over here, that wire comes and plugs into this side. And we talked about that earlier. Originally, I stuck it in the top, and nothing was working, and I realized that's for future use. It goes into the side. The power cord comes out, and that just goes over here, and that plugs directly into the wall. And so I just got it running right alongside there. And then from the controller, this cable over here, the 2 wires, that's the ones that we did when we showed you them going into the controller down below. Okay, we are looking at the controller on the CNC Router Parts Desktop Pro, And you have this board right here in the front, and that's where we're going to connect. We're going to go to this third bank up here, and we want to be on pins 17 and 18. The ground's going to be on 18, and the PWM is going to be on the 17. And this counts from right to left, and this is 14, 15, 16. So we got this on 17, and we have that one on 18. That's all you got to do as far as wiring up the control. Now that we have the laser set up, now we're going to go in, we're going to download a file, and then we're going to actually do the Aspire, get it set up to run the program, and then we'll actually go burn the program after we're done with that. So the first thing we need to do, we got to go into, we got to get some artwork. Let me get over here. Okay, so we're going to go over here and we're going to look for tribal art. And you'll find some really nice designs for both VCarve. We're going to go to images. So like here's things that you can find in tribal art. I mean, these things, they just work absolutely perfectly for what we're trying to do. Like let's take this turtle, for example. We can take that thing right there. We're going to download that image, turtle. And let's just save it over here under downloads for now. And we'll get back out of here. So now we're going to come over to Aspire. We're going to create a new file. We're going to make it, well, let's make it 6 inches by 6 inches. Being that we're lasering, it don't really matter how thick it is. We're not cutting it. The 0 will be in the surface, and the datum will be in the center. Say OK. So let's bring in that artwork we just did. We're going to import that image. We had that down here in downloads. I didn't spell turtle right there. So we're going to bring that in. And basically, all we really want is this piece right here. So I am going to go ahead and come over here. And let's see, we got the artwork. We're going to come down here to trace the bitmap. Let's see, we do have that selected. Yeah, I don't think we have it selected. And that's pretty good right there. So we'll go ahead and take that one right there. So we're going to say apply, preview, and close. Okay, so now we can come up here and we turn the bitmap off. And basically, we're really looking just for this one right here. So we're going to say ungroup. And then we're gonna come up here and we're gonna get rid of this one. And let's get rid of this one. Oop, I think we got part of that. Must have got part of that fin. Control Z. Yeah, we did get part of that fin. Okay, so now we're going to regroup this. Regroup. And let's move that up into the center. And if we go in, we can see we got a few stragglers. We're going to get rid of those. Let's ungroup it again. So we want to get rid of these few. Ungroup. Okay. So now we're just going to get rid of those couple stragglers we see hanging around. These really they're not needed. And they'll just mess us up. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good. Got a couple more over here. Just takes like maybe a minute to go through these, but it'll make a difference. Okay, so now we got pretty much our turtle. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over and let's do an engrave. We're going to engrave it. Quick engrave. We're going to do the outline. And we're going to calculate. And let me change that post-processor right now. And why don't I see my post-processor in here? Well, you know what? I think I have to close it and open it. So let me save this. Save. And let's close that. Now we're going to reopen it. We're going to go over there. We're going to select it all. We're going to do the quick engrave. We're going to calculate. Let's look for our processor though. Op laser, that's the one I've got. I kind of modified one just for the op laser. So we're going to go ahead and calculate. Let's do a preview. Yeah, that should work. And then let's go do close that. And now we're going to save the toolpath. We got our op laser thing, save toolpath. And it's going to save as a tap file. So let's save that. We're going to save that over here. Let's see, I'm going to put that. I'll put that in downloads as well. Okay, where's my downloads? Downloads. Quick engrave. There, give it a quick engrave turtle. So now we've saved our job. So now we're going to be able to go and load it. We'll go into our Mach3, bring in the program, and we'll burn it. So we'll come back when we're ready to do that. So we're in Mach3, and the settings that I have work for my machine. This doesn't necessarily mean it'll work on your machine, but it may give you a start on what you have to do with your software if you're using something other than Mach3. If you have an Avid Desktop Pro, this should work for you. We go up to Config. We're going to go to Ports and Pins. And we want to go to motor outputs. And down here, if you remember earlier, we were talking about when we wired it up, we were on that the third bank of our ESS smooth stepper card, and we were on pin 17. So if you're on a different pin or on a different port, you would change those numbers there, and you want to have this, with the green arrow. And then you would just go apply and say okay, and you would want to hit that reset, come up, save it as you're going so you make sure you get them. And then we want to go back under that, ports and pins, and we're going to go under spindle setup. Now, there's a lot of different people telling you different things. I find that, you definitely have to use the spindle motor output and the PMW, because that's what we're using coming out of the Advid machine. These all seem to be working. You do not have to change any of those. The base frequency, if you read what's put out by the op laser, they're telling you that you don't want to use 1,000, you want to use 10,000. And this way it gives you a continuous flow of the laser, as opposed to it, breaking and giving you almost a dotting effect. But if you put 10,000 in here, it's going to do some calculations on its own, and it's going to change it to this 4166. But put 10,000 in and let it change it on its own. Once again, we would apply that and say okay, and we would go ahead and save that again by coming down and saving settings. And then now we're going to go over to our spindle pulley. And in my case, we're using the pulley number 4, minimum speed 0, maximum speed 10,000, and the ratio 1. To be honest, I don't know what all it means, other than the fact that it works. And we say OK. Okay, so the final thing we need to go change, we got to come over to config, go to motor tuning, and the spindle. And we want steps per to be 1. We want the velocity to be 10,000. It seems like it changed it to 10,002, but 10,000 is what you want there. We want the acceleration to be 2,000. And then this figure will automatically be calculated. And these 2 5s, that's what belongs there as well. And then you want to make sure you save your settings before you leave. And those are the settings that we need to change when we're setting up our Mach 3. And once again, if you have something different, you may want to look on, YouTube to see if there's any other videos that would talk specifically about the ones that you have. Let's get this set up here. I'm going to put this right on here. I happen to know this ledge is perfectly square, so I can just get that board square where I want it. And I've already zeroed it out, but I'll go through that again. When we put let's say if I did my thing and this was the center right here, that little dot, what I would do is I would bring my laser pointer over, and let me lower the light so you can see that a little better. So you can see the laser that I'm putting there, and then I can put that right where that dot is, and then I'll know I am right in the center. And now that's the center of my laser crosshair. But as you can see, this is about, maybe 1 3/4 inches over. But I've got a macro in my Mach 3 that I just click laser XY0, and now we're exactly where we need to be. So let me turn the light back on. So I've already got the laser needs, this thing right here is what we set our laser with. And I've got that right at the perfect height. And we brought the turtle into Mach 3. And now we're going to go ahead and get ready to engrave it. So there you can see we went from a piece of art on the internet, we took it into Vectric, we basically converted it to a vector file, exported it out of Vectric, brought it into Mach 3, and now we've engraved it on a piece of wood.